Hello. I am feeling slightly more perky today, even though I had a horrendous nightmare, and I used to get like really bad recurring ones, and it was always around a similar subject to do with my PTSD, which isn't surprising, but I hadn't been having a lot recently, so I don't know, like something's obviously triggering it. I'm guessing it's because we're moving house and there's a lot of stress and stuff. So that sucked. I had a horrible nightmare, but then I listened to a couple of my favourite podcasts this morning, and that cheered me up a bit. They always make me laugh. Yeah, it's nice and sunny. It's still cold, but not cold compared to what it was. So I'm on my way to get coffee, and then I don't really have a lot of plans today. I don't really know why I'm vlogging. I never really know why I'm vlogging unless I'm doing like a specific exposure, but I don't know, I just find myself doing it. Something I've been doing is I've been sticking to my sleeping routine a lot better. Like I've been going to bed at the same time every night, but then the opposite, the complete opposite of that. I've been getting up in the morning at the same time, but I'm not going to bed early enough to compensate for the change in schedule. I hope that makes sense. So I'm not getting enough sleep because I'm still choosing to stay up late and do all the stuff I do late at night, which is when I seem to get inspired and creative, or if that ever happens. But that's when I watch my shows or when I watch my YouTube, and now there's a siren. So one thing I hate about this place is all the sirens. Ugh. And it'll probably get worse when we move, because we're actually moving onto this street but further up, and you can see how busy it is. As she says, there's no cars. There's loads of cars. And it's right near a fire station, but anyway, I will tell you about the move in another video because it's probably going to be quite a lengthy moan. So I am really not good in that respect. I am terrible, in fact. I don't even know how many hours I'm getting a night at the moment, but it's probably closer to 6, maybe 7 at the most. Once, a few years ago, I figured out my perfect amount of sleep was 10 hours, which I know sounds crazy to some people, but that was my kind of, the amount that I function better on, and I'm getting nowhere near that, so I need to work on that. I need to work on going to bed earlier, being stricter with myself. But the problem is, that's when I feel at my best. Is like, it's almost like I turn into a pumpkin at midnight and I feel better, like, or better than I have done for the day. I'll feel better from like midnight to 4 AM. That's when I'll be like, oh, I feel kind of relaxed. I'm gonna, do things that I enjoy now and blah, blah, blah. And then people are like, why don't you just do it in the daytime? Now that you're getting up earlier. And I'm like, doesn't work like that, because in the day I feel like shit. And I don't want to do the things, even though you're supposed to do the things to make yourself feel better. I don't want to do them. I can't do them. I can't motivate myself to do them. I'm just going off on a random tangent now, so I'm going to go and get my coffee. It got colder. I stayed in Starbucks again, I think for about probably an hour again. I get a bit lost when I'm looking online at stuff. I'll just get into it. Something smells really good. There's food around here. One of my favourite baristas was in, which was really nice. Then I got a heart drawn on my coffee, which makes me very happy. I am about to try and make myself do something really scary. Why do I do this to myself? It's to make myself better. Oh, it's cold. Fuck. So the new building that we're moving into is actually just up here. Hang on. Insanely loud tractor just went past. A tractor? Where the fuck is a tractor going? Yeah, so the building is just up here, and I need to speak to them about something. And I wasn't going to. I was going to do it with my other half because I don't want to do it by myself, but seeing as it's like I'm literally looking at the building, I'm like, I should just go and try and do it. So I'm going to go and try and do it. And yeah, I will report back and tell you how it went. You will not believe what happened. Problem is, it's such a long story that I'm worried about fitting it into this video, but I can't make a separate one I'm going to try and tell you when I'm inside because it's way too cold, but oh my god, it's like an hour later. That's how it went. My head is about to explode, guys. Oh my god. The cat's decided to take up residence, like, on the tripod. It's like, his butt is against one of the legs, so if there's any kind of wobbling, that's him. This might come out really rushed because I'm trying to make it as quick as possible. How does this happen to me? How do these things happen to me? How? Okay, I go to the building, like where I left off. I said I was just going to nip in and out to ask a quick question. I end up with Chatty McGee, okay? I get sent to the property management office, and it's like a whole office with a woman, and you know, her whole office, and I was like, am I supposed to be in here? Like, this is quite scary. This is like more than I was expecting to have to do. I just wanted to ask a really quick question, not have like an interview. I basically just had an interview for an hour. Oh my god. Anyway, let's stop being quite so dramatic. Yeah, so I went in, and before I knew it, I'd sat down, because there was a chair, obviously. So I sat down and started talking to her about the question I had, and it turns out she's like one of those people that just chats and chats and chats. And, like, she would talk forever if you didn't somehow manage to get a word in edgeways and said, actually, I have something I have to be doing and need to leave now, yeah? She's very nice. I can imagine her being asset to any problems we might have. You know, she seems brilliant at her job, but oh my god, like, talk about oversharing. Like, I don't mean any offence to this woman, it's just that because of the way I am and everything, I find any kind of social situation very triggering for my anxiety and everything. So to suddenly be sat down on the opposite side of a desk to someone and have them talking to me for an hour, I am not kidding, an hour, was terrifying. It felt like an interview. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I didn't just run away. It's like my Britishness, you know, of like not being rude. I'm like just sitting there going, okay, it doesn't matter if you die right here, right now. Just don't be rude about it. Oh, what is wrong with me? For God's sake, I need to learn to just, I don't know, I need to go on an assertiveness course online. Because I can't go to one in person because I'm so unassertive. Help me. Oh, okay. She started telling me we like got the question that I wanted to talk about over with in about 30 seconds, okay? And then she started going, where are you from? Because of my accent. And it just went from there. I now know everything about all 4 of her children, all their health problems, all their jobs. The worst part was, one of her kids, she was like, she said it herself, she's a tough love mum, okay? I do not respond well to tough love, so I'm actually quite scared of her. Doesn't help the anxiety in that situation. And she starts telling me, and this is honestly, I just can't believe, right, okay. She starts telling me about her youngest son and how he's suffered with depression since he's been 14. And how he's been in and out of hospital, and all these medications. And I'm sitting there going, oh, fuck. Like, I can't share my story with you because I'm about to move into your building, and what if you hold it against me somehow? Because you're not talking completely positively about the subject. You know? And obviously, I don't want to just talk to a complete stranger about it anyway. But, yeah, I wasn't about to jump in and kind of go, actually, I suffer with all these things too, blah, blah, blah. I just kind of got this feeling like she might not understand, even though I know she's got a son who has it. I can't really explain to you the way she was talking about it, but it definitely wasn't in a way that I wasn't going to share my story with her. And then, oh god, it was just awful, and I started freaking, not completely freaking out, but my anxiety just went, wow, you know, the minute she said, oh, my son has depression, he's been in hospital, I was like, I really don't want to talk about this. And then she starts talking about her friend, who has just been put off work because she has started having panic attacks and anxiety. Even just those words will spike my anxiety. They just will. I'm a lot better than I was with it, with the words, but if someone says them to me, I'm like, So then I'm like, I don't want to tell her I have panic attacks too. And I'm like, why? Why am I judging myself so much? Why am I being such a fucking stigmatised twat bag right now? But I had this thing like I was in the interview somehow, and that if I said to her, oh, I'm one of those people too, because she wasn't, I'm not saying she wasn't being kind about the people, but she was kind of being quite judgmental about things. So I was like, I just didn't feel comfortable sharing it, and oh my god, how on earth did one question that should have taken about 3 minutes, turn into an hour-long discussion about her family and friends' mental health at me, and about the mayor of this city, and about pets and dogs and her dead dog, and... Dude, I seriously need to learn how to get out of conversations that I don't want to be in. Like, I need... You know what they should need to invent? They need to invent some sort of app that can read your mind and makes your phone ring when you want to leave. What would you do? What would you do? What do you do when you're in a situation like that and it's like you just want to leave? Do you just leave and be rude about it and just kind of go, bye, and just leave the room? What do you do? Like, without saying, I'm actually feeling really uncomfortable and anxious and panicky myself, I'm going to go home. Like, what do you do? What do you say? Do you have a strategy? I'd like to know it if you do, because this is something I struggled with for a long time. Other than feigning illness of some sort. I don't know. Fuck. But the one good thing I got out of it, when I did finally... Breathe. Breathe for the words, Jess. When I finally did get to say, I actually have to be somewhere, I've just realised I've just got to be somewhere, didn't. Landed on deaf ears. She was like, actually, do you know if they've, like, finished painting the unit that you're moving into? And I was like, how would I know? Why don't you, sort of thing, right? Turns out she was in charge of getting it painted, and she took me up there. She was like, do you want to see it? I was like, yeah, of course I do. I'm the nosiest person on the planet. Of course I want to see the place I'm moving into. So she actually took me up to see the unit again, which was brilliant, because I was like, got to see it in the daytime, and I was like, this is awesome. They'd finished all the painting, all the floors, everything. There'd been a thing where the water goes wrong. A flood. A leak. A flooded... A burst pipe. Jesus. A burst pipe. So there'd been water damage in the unit, so it had to be fixed. And it's all been fixed, and it's all beautiful, and now I'm really happy about moving in there, apart from the fact that she wanted to give me a brochure about, like, rules and regulations and stuff. And I actually did get a lot of information out of this interview, okay? Because honest to God, this was like an interview. I am like, breathe! You can see how much it's wound me up. But she couldn't, because she said she could only give it to me once she'd got the contract already, and she looked in her things and she had, like, a form for us, but she didn't have the contract, and I was like, why don't you have the contract? It's our place now. Why don't you have it? Oh my god. So now I'm like freaking out about that a little bit. Anyway, freaked out. Really wasn't expecting that at all. Gonna go now and feed myself, because I haven't even eaten. It's like it's gone 5 o'clock in the afternoon and I haven't even eaten yet, because I just have really bad timing with my food. I go and have my coffee before I have my food, and then shit like that happens, which... I have no words. I'm going to go. Thank you very much for watching if you've listened to this. This is what happens when I get blindsided by a lot of information, and I'm very scared by people. Okay, I'm gonna leave. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye. Just wanted to add something. I'm kind of pissed at myself right now for holding back and not feeling like I could admit to my depression and anxiety and panic attacks in front of that woman. I'm like, I'm just feeding the stigma, you know, by hiding it. Even if it is in that situation, it's like, I'm pissed at myself for not feeling like I can be honest about it, because it means that I am still embarrassed about it and that I don't want people to know. And that really upsets me, that I let it control how I acted just now in talking to that woman. I guess it's like I was scared she was going to judge me. That's all it is. And, you know, the way she was talking about the people in her life that suffer. And now I feel like I should have stuck up for it, you know? Yeah, I'm pissed that I didn't chime in and say, actually, I suffer with all these things too. I'm feeling a bit shitty about that now. I know I'm not supposed to be some sort of crusader or something, but I certainly don't want to be someone who keeps the stigma going, you know? Otherwise I wouldn't be making this channel. You know, I wouldn't have tweeted this channel on that Bell Let's Talk Day in Canada, you know, if I was going to try and hide it like that. But apparently in person I still do try and hide it, and that's not a very nice thing to realise about myself.